What's the key to a fulfilling and happy retirement? Our first guest says it's all about planning your mind, body, and wallet for your golden years. Julia Valentine is the author of Joy Compass, How to Make Your Retirement the Treasure of Your Life. And she joins me now. Welcome back to the show. It's great to have you.
It's great to be here, Jessalyn.
All right, so why is it that some people flourish in retirement and others don't?
Because people who thrive take the time to figure out how to create emotional, physical, and financial well-being for themselves.
So they're less stressed out?
They're less stressed out, and they're willing to take risks to get what they want. They're willing to do some self-reflection, self-examination to figure out what it is that they want, and they take action. They're prepared.
Okay, so what about those who aren't prepared? Is it too late?
Get on it! Get on it right now! Get on it! It's the beginning of the year. It's the perfect time to do that.
All right, so when's the right time to retire?
It depends on when you feel ready, emotionally and financially, and physically as well, right? Let's be honest. So when you feel that you've had enough of the 9 to 5 or 9 to 9, whatever it is that you have.
24/7.
24/7, right? And you have enough money saved, you feel comfortable with that, and you have your hobbies defined, and you know how you're going to spend your time. That's the time to really comfortably do that. And remember, semi-retirement is a great option.
I know a lot of people have retired early or because they're baby boomers. We're seeing more and more people retiring as well. What's the biggest concern?
Number one on everyone's mind is healthcare. And that's even higher than having enough money saved.
Exactly, because you think that you don't need as much as you grow older, material things anyway. But the number one thing is healthcare.
It is, and we talk about replacement ratios, right? So that's what's the percentage of your current income that you would need in retirement? And the traditional number that we give is 70%. Now, whether or not that's true for everyone, if you really want to know your exact number, you have to go through the planning process.
And so how do you do that? How do you figure it all out?
Well, you get books, you go to seminars, you go to joycompass.com. We help you figure this out. There are plenty of people who help you actually go through with that.
And so when they figure it out, what's the most important thing when they're planning this? Do they try to live the same life that they've had before, or do they base it on the life that they think they're going to have?
You know what's interesting is that about 20% of Americans actually go through with successful retirement planning. So that's when you sit down, you look at how much money am I going to have coming in, what am I going to spend, what's the difference, etc.
Right.
So people who actually go through with this process, 44% of them actually change their habits. They either save more or they, think of other ways to bring in some additional money once they retire. So it's really, really helpful to figure this out in detail. And by the way, people who plan create twice the wealth of people who don't.
Really?
That's not just for retirement. Apparently, money likes attention. And apparently where we put our attention and focus, that's exactly what we grow.
All right, you have some ways to make retirement the treasure of your life. The first thing is vision is vital.
It is. We need to be enticed and lured into doing something wonderful for ourselves. Because people who don't plan for retirement, the first thing they tell me is, I'm not a planner. And I say, have you gone on vacation recently? Oh yeah, I have. Have you planned it? I loved it. I planned it for 2 weeks.
Makes sense.
Are you married? Have you planned your wedding? Oh yeah, I love that too. Well, it needs to be compelling. We need to visualize something that's enticing to us to actually go through with the planning.
And retirement can come so quickly. I mean, time flies by.
Yeah, but see, we need to anticipate that time with pleasure.
Yes.
And it comes from that. Actually, we'll live longer if we do that. We talked about it last time, right?
Yes,
7.5 years on average. People live longer if they think positively about getting older.
All right, the second thing you say is alleviate angst with automation. What does that mean?
Well, what that means is that if you do something every month, please automate it. Don't spend your conscious attention on something that you need to do constantly. If you pay your bills, find a way to automate that. If you want to save money, find a way to automatically save. It really is helpful to put behavior on autopilot.
Well, technology makes that really easy these days.
It does. It does. It's just finding out about it and taking advantage of it.
I know. Well, older people tend not to want to use technology, but it's really not that difficult.
It's not that difficult, and also, there are options there, right? You don't have to do online banking if you feel that it's not safe for you, but you can arrange it with your banker to have automatic transfers. You don't need to be online for that. So there are options for any preference that we have.
All right, another thing you say is fuel your own fire.
Self-motivation is key to your creativity, to healthy behavior, to lasting change. We know that from motivation research. And what that means is that if you take the time to find out and figure out what exactly you need, you will take the steps to actually get it.
Design your destination so you're going to get there.
So you're going to get there. Planning is essential. You know, money loves planning. For some reason, I don't know why, it doesn't matter how much money you start out with. If you actually plan for predictable events, if you plan for the future, you will create twice the wealth of people who don't do that.
And knowledge, of course, is power.
It is, right? We hear it so many times, but people in general are not knowledgeable about healthcare costs, about how much money they'll need, about where they want to live and all that. We're too busy living, you know, to actually think about the future or think about some of the things that we actually need. So find the time to educate yourself.
Well, there are many resources out there now.
Yes, yes. So there's an Ideal Living Retirement Expo coming to Connecticut, to Greenwich. It's going to be here on February 11th and 12th.
I know you'd be part of it.
I'll be the keynote speaker. I'll be part of that, and I'll be signing my book, so I invite you all to come and say hi.
And get some advice from you as well.
Absolutely. I'm going to be there for 2 days, so it's a great time to come up and ask your questions.
What's the #1 advice you give to everybody? What's the best tip you can give to someone?
Love your life and realize that it's completely up to you whether you thrive or whether you just drag, you know, along through life. It's completely up to you.
You have to enjoy those golden years.
You have to enjoy every day of your life.
Exactly.
Every year is a golden year, you know. Every day is a blessing. So when you get up in the morning, you know, let's enjoy it, people. That's what we have. We're here to enjoy.
I'm here to enjoy it as well. Well, it's great to have you with us, really. And again, for more information, people need to go to your website. And what is that?
Joycompass.com.
Joycompass.com, or you can come to WTNH.com as well and click on Connecticut Style. Julia, thanks so much for being here.
It's my pleasure,
Happy
always.
New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you, too.
Up next.